We were recently approached by a company who asked whether we'd be interested in reviewing a camera. Camera so that we can see around the outside of the van when we're driving, reversing. So we agreed that we'd like to, on the understanding that we did a full and honest review. We'd say what we liked, and we'd also say what we didn't like. So it's arrived, so we're going to take it out of the box.
Bearing in mind that we're not expert mechanics, electricians or anything, so we'll have to be able to tell you how easy it is to it's not easy to get out of the box, I'll tell you that. Right, so it's the Haloview Sophon AI system, the S7. It's geared up for motorhomes and trailers. So let's see where we leave that.
So on the outside of the box it says it's an AI intelligence system, a HD camera, true wireless, battery operated, an IPS panel, I don't know what that means yet, full colour night vision, it's got a magnetic camera, DVR so it records, and it's waterproof and snowproof.
So inside the box, usual manuals, sort of the quick guide and the more detailed one by the look of it. Yeah, so, and then the bits themselves. So looking at the camera first, again well packed. There's the camera. Presumably you can adjust the angle of the head, but probably need to read how to do that.
Is it quite weighty?
It is quite weighty. So
in the email they did say it's an ultra strong magnet as well, but yes, there is some weight to that.
There's the charging cable or a power cable. There's I see, yeah, that's the
windscreen mount.
The windscreen mount for the system. And this side of the box is the screen, which looks quite a neat screen. More power cables. Oh, they're the air antenna, the aerials, and frames to presumably to fit it all together on the dashboard or somewhere, wherever you want to mount it.
So that's the empty box.
That's the empty
comes
box.
with quite a bit of kit.
There's various magnetic and sticky mounts. Again, some mounts for that, and bolts.
Comes with an English 3-pin plug for the charger.
So we need to do some reading now on putting it all together, installing it. I'm not sure exactly yet how it's all wired in, because literally we've unboxed it and we haven't even looked at any of the instructions, so bear with us.
Decent sized screen.
It is, isn't it? It's a 7-inch, did it say? Yeah, 7-inch LED. So
and when it's mounted on a windscreen, it's
that's going
actually
to be fairly solid, isn't it?
It's solid, but it's not too heavy.
Yeah, so yeah, bear with us. But first, coffee time.
Always coffee time.
So they suggest in the instructions that you piece it all together, just to check the connectivity and that everything's paired up. So I'll just putting the basics together. The screen is run off a usual cigarette lighter power socket, which we've got a few of in the van, so that's not a problem. And that's I'll see what you can do. You don't need it onto the screen. Yeah, all right, okay, but for now, just to keep it upright, we'll put it on the stand.
So I'm just looking as well. I'm not technical. You could actually, if you wanted, screw the stand to the dashboard.
Yeah, you can either go on the dashboard. It could also probably go higher up on the over the roof,
the
doofree, near the visors and that area. So that's quite flexible. And again, reading, there is the suction mount, which might be best for us for the time being. I don't know. And that is quite a sturdy arm. So once that's set up, it's not going to move. And there are some supporting clips to go on that as well. So that's good. There is a sun visor. Not sure how that fits on, but there is a sun visor for it as well. Presumably like that. Goes on somehow around it. That's that. The aerials just screw in, and they suggest that the aerial needs to be pointing upright. And basically, I think that's virtually it.
Well, for the initial setup.
Yeah.
Because then we'll have to set it up for distance, I presume, and
I don't know. Let's see whether we need to. Let's charge this up and then see where we are. Oh, it's actually come charged. So I don't know whether this needs charging, or is it just a? Yeah, that doesn't hold a charge. We need to plug that in. So the camera's seems to be charged. It'd be interesting to see how long the battery pack is on this. I think we bought a cheap one years ago from the NEC, didn't we?
From one of the caravan shows.
That was really to see as a rear view mirror, and it didn't last that long, did it?
No, it was a bit hit and
If you were going on a long motorway journey, you would need to charge it when you had a coffee at the service station. It wasn't that long, but so it'd be interesting to see how long that actually lasts.
We are on a road trip soon, so we'll be able to test it out fully then.
And there is a radar system in here as well, so it picks up pedestrians and other vehicles, and so
records sound as well. So works, as we said before, as a reversing camera as well. So you can set the distance to when it beeps and.
Right.
So we can actually attach the windscreen mount to the camera or to the monitor. It's just magnetic. It's quite a strong magnet. And shaking it about, so if we're going over rough ground or bumps, it's not going to just fall off. I'm giving that quite a. I'm holding a hand under it just in case, but I'm shaking that a lot, and it's not moving. So that's a positive.
Which means that if you, and these clips just go on the arm, so you can actually just secure it wherever it is. Obviously this is bent, flexible, very stiff, so it's not going to move very when you're driving.
It's nice being a lot stiffer, isn't it? We like it stiffer, because
so
it's not going to just...
You can get those arms supported on the dashboard, or the top of the dashboard anyway. But also means that you can take that off for security. It's not on show all the time, and it is just a matter of just clicking it back on. So might need to just have a look at it set up in the van and see where we get to. Right, where are we going to put it?
Bear in mind we've got the sat nav there.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere that's not in your... restricting sight or anything, isn't it? So...
I suppose the sat-nav could move.
Yes, that's probably going to be better there, isn't it?
Yeah, in the middle.
So let's remove the sat-nav for a start.
One problem we found with when we're doing the sat-nav is just getting the arm in the right, bent in the right places to take what we wanted.
In the master, it's such a steep curve or drop on the dashboard.
Something like that. Then you just have to line everything else up and then tighten everything else up. I mean, that's not a bad, wouldn't be a bad as I say, it's just a matter of getting everything bent in the right places. So, but this is just temporarily fixing, so that's going to be fairly don't know where that's meant to be, but that's not too bad at the moment. So let's see whether that powers up.
Yeah, there's a light on there. That's flashing.
Yeah. Right, obviously no signal, but we've got power, so it all works that side. So we need to read the instructions now to match the other bit up. So just while we're testing it, and we'll turn it on. Is that on? Yes, that's on. So I'm not sure where exactly it's going to go finally. So far, well, there you go.
We can hear sound from it.
The installation was very simple. You can hear the road noise, traffic going past. Obviously need to adjust the angles and things, but that's a perfect picture.
First impressions of that image, the screen, it is amazingly clear.
Yes, crystal clear. Colour is lovely, and I must admit I was a bit daunted when we got the parcel, and it was saying about installation. I was thinking,
we're not electricians.
How do I power it up? How do I wire it in and things like that? If it needs permanent feed, but at the moment we can't go wrong with that.
That's wireless. We've not had to do any wiring or anything. So
literally plugged it into the cigarette lighter, turned the camera on at the back, and just magnetised it to, or it's just magnetic to the back of the van, and that's it.
Now, my initial first concern is that we're parked up on our drive. And we can hear that noise, that traffic noise from outside. So we'll need to have a look at volume, because obviously when you're driving you don't want to be hearing all the traffic noise, but there must be a volume setting on it. There are a few different controls there, so
there's brightness.
Let's have a look at the brightness then. Oh, there comes up more on display of... So
that's for if there's multiple cameras. We've got to get back to the one we had.
Now it says no signal.
3, 4. So it's set to camera 4. So,
right, well, what I'm going to do, you keep watching that.
and
You can probably hear me. It's not easy to get off, so we just need to. I'm not going to fiddle too much, but I'm not sure.
because Daryl's
Check without forcing it how to alter the angle of the camera. But you can hear me. Hello. Yeah, impressive.
and because Daryl's gone into the zone, the reversing zone, it was kicking off the alarm. It was kicking off the alarm because you were so close to it.
Was it?
Yes.
All right.
So
Could you hear what I was saying as well?
yes, yeah.
Right,
So
okay. That's good.
everything seems to be spot on. We need to just go through the setup, the menus and things like that, because there's obviously lots of menus here. Is it not touchscreen? So how do we get to that one? I don't know. Ah, there you go. Yes, we need to look at that. Well, we'll need to read the instructions. That's always a good start, isn't it? And you can record, you can play back, pairing for different cameras. So there are lots of different. I mean, this is set to camera 4, so it can actually pick up 4 cameras.
So we could get another camera and use it mounted on the bonnet or whatever, and use it as a dash cam if we're so inclined.
So first impressions on the Haloview Sophon S7. I'm impressed.
I'm just going through the menus, and they've got nice firm clicks and pressure on the buttons. Just working out how to scroll through the menus now. Not quite as straightforward as we thought it might be, but that's just getting to know the system. So just getting used to going through the settings. That took a few minutes just to work through them, but that's like any new piece of equipment you get. It's playing and finding out how things work. So we need to alter the angle on the camera and then give it a proper test drive, see how long the battery lasts. We're going on a journey of what, about 150 miles, something like that. So we'll fully charge the camera, start going when we set off, and see if the battery lasts the whole trip and how much charge is left in it. Oh, one thing I haven't looked is the is charging the camera. Is that USB charge or?
No, it's a mains, isn't it?
Right.
So I don't know. We'll have to look at that.
Because obviously we don't stay on site, so if it's mains, we're not going to be able to charge it that way.
Up vehicles as you go past. They're highlighted, little box around them as they go past.
And it also does that if people are around the vehicle, it'll highlight them as well.
Oops, wrong one.
I'm impressed with the microphone.
Yes. Another feature is the power cable that goes into the socket. That has its own switch as well, so you can turn it off there.
And you're not going to miss it. It's a nice bright red knob. So,
or you can turn it off. Because right, you can turn the screen off here on the screen itself, but you still have power, so you're actually still drawing power from your battery. So turning it off at the mains, so to speak, you're not having any drain on the battery. We've also found that our setup, the length isn't over long. It's a long wheelbase Renault Master, but for the signal we don't need this antenna upright. So again, that's not taking much out of the your vision. We could always still attach the bracket somewhere, because we've always said that this part of the dashboard is not very useful, because that's only got that whole screen only has the time on it. So if we block that off somewhere, by using the static screwed frame, that'd be fine. There's plenty of cable, so wherever your 12 volt socket is, you're going to get there. Might be even too much for us.
We got a few sockets, so we're still alright for sat nav and
USBs.
Again, if you've only got one socket, you can get adapters, can't you? So you can have 2 or 3.
We might need to put another one in, to be fair, because that is the one we use for sat nav as well. So, and that's got USB. That's a USB socket.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So we might need to put another one in, but that's not going to be a major issue. We could always put one here.
We've just brought the camera back in to look at how to adjust it, and it's a nice firm.
It is. We were not worried. We were a bit concerned about forcing it, but it is, as you can hear, a fairly solid ratchet. So we can adjust when it's on the back of the van. You can adjust it to get the right distance or view quite easily.
Another thing that I was impressed with when I was just looking is the socket for charging the camera. It's a nice deep plug, so it's not just going to...
It's solid, so it's waterproof.
Yeah. It's not going to leak into it.
There's LEDs to tell you the charge on the camera, and there's also blue lights on. That's presumably the rangefinder or whatever.
So we need to do a little bit more reading just to make sure we've got it set up right, but I think it's pretty foolproof, to be honest. It's just getting to know the different settings, but initial setup, can't fault it, can we, really?
No, nice and easy.
It's basically plug and play. So the next step is to read a little bit more of the instructions, just learn it a little bit more, and then go on a trip.
Yeah.
Switch the switch on here. Monitor on. Alter the brightness slightly.
We have adjusted the zones just to get them sort of more, well, we brought them down, so and the camera's a bit angled down as well. So let's go and see where we get to.
It's now got a square here, so it's picking up the car that's behind us.
So the AI system picks up cars at a fair distance. You see, picking up the ones we're passing as well.
I don't know how clear you'll actually see that on this camera. You can see the glow from the headlights of the car behind as well, so it does pick up very clearly.
Pedestrians on the footpath.
Just hoping this car behind will get a little bit closer to us so we can see what happens. again, picking up the cars that are going on the inside of us. We just need a car to come up behind us now. It's flashing red as that car's got closer to us.
So we're at some traffic lights. The car behind us has obviously not come into our sort of zone and hasn't triggered it. Only when it gets too close are you warned.
So if I pull back from the screen now, it's probably not the best light for the camera to pick it up, but I'm at driver's distance. There's Keith, and the screen is absolutely crystal clear. Bearing in mind it's a dull day. Let's see what happens if this car behind us gets close enough. No, it's going to go another way, but might pick it up.
I think as the box around it, if it encroaches into that trapezium, then it sets off the alarm. But if it doesn't, it's far enough away not to do it. But it's all the cars do have little squares around them, so it has located them. It has identified
the squares
them.
Just there around them.
And it does that for, as we say, for pedestrians as well. So, and even when they're on the pavement, so it's aware of them. It's only when they encroach into your path that the alarm is triggered. So you can increase or decrease the brightness, so it's not going to cause distraction.
It's picked up the car again behind. There's a square there, and it's coming closer, closer, closer.
And
there you go. Coming into the red zone and warning us. As we pull away, it's still picking up the car that's coming behind us now, but not beeping because it's a distance enough away.
So what we have found, we were saying about charging this, thinking it was only a mains adapter, but what we have found, if we split the power cable to the monitor, that goes in there, and we switch it on, it charges the camera. So while we're away, we have no problem charging the camera off either the leisure system or the car battery. So yeah, we could probably buy a second one of these, because this is going to be kept in the back and be charged while we're driving, and it'd be good to charge it in the back. We've got power sockets over there out in the back, so yeah,
another bonus. We were away for a week, and now it's time to tell you what we really think of this thing.
When we were sent the Haloview system, we did say, and we were asked to review it, we did say that it would be an honest review, regardless, pros and cons, everything. So what did you think of it?
First thoughts, I thought, blinking heck, that's heavy. How's that going to stick on the back of the van? And it is chunky, but it does. It's got a really good magnet on the back, hasn't it?
There's two. There's a magnet in the back, and there's a magnet on the base as well. Very strong magnets, so you can actually mount it wherever you want, either on the roof looking down, or on the back wall,
or a bumper,
if you want it that low. We decided that it needed to be a little bit higher, really just for security. If somebody's walking past and they take a liking to it, they might just try and actually...
Would be a bit of a yank, but
Yeah.
they'd still manage to whip it, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But it does also come with, if you've got an aluminium body on your vehicle, it does actually come with strong magnets with 3M
tape
on the back, so you can still use it on that kind of body. But yeah,
I was dubious or daunted initially by thinking, how am I going to install it? I'm not an electrician. I'm not really, well, I can play around with electrics, but where do I wire it in and things like that? But it is just a battery. I think it's lithium batteries in there. That's probably what gives it the weight. And then the next thought was, well, how long is this going to last? Because we've had one before, and I must admit it was a cheap one, but that lasted about an hour and a half. So it was on long journeys, was
useless for a campervan, really, because we usually go.
Yeah.
I think we gave up on that after a few months.
We did. We didn't even bother recharging it.
No.
But this, it does say that it's a 4-hour battery life. We got more than that. We had it about 5 hours.
5 hours, 5.5 hours, something like that.
Trekking up to the lakes and things. So it's virtually a day's travelling on one charge on the camera. The monitor is obviously wired into your cigarette lighter, so that's powered all the time. The one thing I do like about that, I think I said before, is got the cigarette charging unit has got an on-off button.
Yeah, so the bright red light you saw in the video, I think, that shows you whether it's switched on or not.
So installation, I doddle, absolutely doddle. Just decide where you're going to stick it, and you're away. There's no faffing around with getting it to communicate. We just turn it on, and it finds itself immediately. Yeah. They did say that it's 33 feet or something like that,
I think
which is quite a distance. You're going to have quite a long vehicle to get to see that. We had no problems with the communication between the units, and you can actually get 4 cameras onto the one monitor. So if you wanted a forward-facing camera as well, or whatever,
side cameras,
whatever, but you can actually get 4 and split the screen however you want to. So it's a good feature for future use if you want to extend the system.
The sound quality as well, because we had it when we initially set it up. We had it so it was listening to everything.
Yeah,
we could hear the traffic. The microphones in it. We could hear the traffic. We could hear people talking as they were walking past the van, or if one of us was behind the van, we could hear each other. So I could be talking to Keith while he was in the van, saying, "Can you hear me?"
So that's ideal for hooking up. If you needed to reverse to hook up, the person behind can actually communicate and talk to you.
And security again as well.
And again, security, yes.
If you're parked up and you want to make sure that no one's getting in the back, for instance, us, the back door's unlocked. We could hear if anyone was approaching it when we're in the van. And
the unit again is well waterproofed. What's the word? The technology or technical information say it's waterproof to whatever. What's the word? I can't think of the word.
We were in some blinking heavy rain last week, and
that was all we needed to know. It was weatherproof.
It was very, very waterproof.
Even the charging socket has got a really substantial grommet on it to prevent water
which doesn't come out easily. So I mean, I don't know whether you'll see that or not, but that's a deep grommet, and it clicks in nicely as well. Yeah. So also, we dropped it.
Oops.
That was an accident, but didn't do it on purpose. We dropped it and we were thinking, oh heck, have we broken it?
That was our fault, not the magnets or
No,
anything
it wasn't
like that.
We pulled it off and then just
Fumbled.
dropped it. No damage to it. It didn't affect anything. We stuck it straight back onto the van and checked it, and it was brilliant. The lens or anything, no scratches or anything. So it's tough, which is what you want on an outside camera.
The visuals, as I say, was very good, and we were driving in both daylight and nighttime.
Yeah.
And the system just picks everything up. Picks up in pedestrians. It picks up cars. The AI side of things is very impressive.
If you've ever watched Person of Interest, then you get little squares of people around and vehicles around, and it reminded us of that, really. So we had a friend following us as well, because we went up to the lakes with a friend, and when he pulled up behind us, it was so clear that we could see his face behind his windscreen, couldn't we? And that was at night, in dusk, wasn't it? So yeah. So yes, the visuals are very clear.
The screen itself, the colour, even colour at night, is very impressive. There's, it doesn't sort of go to that grey, horrible black and white mode.
And you can alter the brightness on the screen as well, which we found, because we found it a bit bright at first, didn't we?
You can actually, I think you can turn on LEDs in here as well. So at night, if it's really dark, you can put LEDs on.
Yeah, we've not tried that, have we?
Not tried that. I must say, the handbook or the manual that comes with it is a bit lacking in what you can do and explaining how to turn things on and off and adjusting. But then, who reads manuals?
I'll leave that to him.
But yeah, but a lot of information is on the website. They describe and do show you how to do things on the website.
Since looked at the website.
Since looked at the website, yeah.
As we showed before, this is quite. In fact, I'm going to let you do it, but you can alter the angle.
You can alter the angle, but it is on a very firm ratchet.
It's not going to just drop as you're bouncing along.
Once it's set, it's set. So that's that unit. As I say, the screen is crystal clear. You can put a SD card in it to record what you're seeing. We haven't tried that yet, but that's might be an interesting view as we're travelling. I don't know. We'll see. But it's for, I assume, security.
Yeah,
so you've got evidence of what's going on behind you.
No one bumps into you or anything. So it comes with extras that we didn't use.
What was I say? We didn't use the mounting bracket for the dashboard because the suction cup onto the windscreen was better, or we think it's better for us at the moment. It's got a base charger for home. It's got some connecting cables, which I'm not quite sure. I think that might be to connect more than one camera. I'm not sure, to be fair. But again, it'll be on the website.
Also comes with a charger for your cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Which you said we could do with another, really.
For our purposes, we could do with the second one because we want to charge the camera unit in the back where we've got power. So, but they are available from the website. So things are there. So I don't know.
We promised
more to say, really.
No, we promised an honest review, and honestly,
it is good.
It's brilliant. Yeah, and we don't say that lightly because we're not ones who are going to endorse things that we don't believe in.
We're not big enough to be able to do that anyway. But no, we are impressed, or I'm impressed.
I'm impressed as well because I was like you. I was like, oh, is it going to be any good? Especially after the previous camera we had. It
does take out any concerns of how close you are to things. It highlights, as we said, pedestrians. It highlights cars. So if you're, things are getting into your zone. That's when you're reversing or anything like that. it will tell you. You can turn bleeps on and off. You can make it louder and quieter. We did actually turn the microphone off because we thought that was a little bit distracting. But obviously, it's easy to turn it on if you need it. But generally, it does take the worry out of knowing what's in your environment around you.
Especially for a vehicle like us,
Yes.
who haven't got a rear window because the
that's
rear
right.
window's blanked out.
Yeah, so on our van, you rely on the mirrors. So this is a really good additional. And as I say, we've tried things before, and we gave up on it. So
He's going to put his glasses on now because we have made some notes just to
make sure that
we've told you everything that we think.
So yeah, I mean, I think we covered those. Yeah.
What did we? I mean, we read this on the website, and then this was in the book as well. Up to 964, 84?
84 feet, the line of sight reception, but we didn't try that. We didn't need to. It clamped out the box. It clamps on the back of the van. You plug the monitor in, and that's it. You're up and running. You do then need to adjust settings to personalise it, which is fine. I think we've shown you some screenshots. Its water resistance is brilliant. I think we've covered all our notes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, on the whole, the Haloview Sophon AI system, the S7 AI system, fantastic. It is really, really, really good. I am impressed.
Yeah. We will put a link to this camera and to the company below. We didn't get paid for this. Obviously, they sent us a camera to use. And once again, we don't endorse things lightly. We are being honest. We're impressed.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
if you're after a camera, then this one might be one worth looking at for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Coffee time.
I think so.
Bye.
Bye.